Publicity. What can you tell me and how can I help at this moment? My sister is being tortured. Is that all? In 2.5 years you did? Red Cross.
Are you kidding? Don't let him go.
Bring my father back from captivity. Why are you hiding from us? I don't know in what condition she is now. As I said, I cannot answer such questions publicly. The capture kills. Do not be silent. The capture kills.
Question, who creates such conditions for them?
Who is controlled this? Who will be responsible for these crimes?
They do not understand what they are doing.
Bring back the Marines! Bring back the Marines!
Don't go to the Maidan, go here. Glory to Ukraine.
Glory the heroes! When was the last time prisoners were visited on the territory of the Russian Federation? If such visits were long ago or did not happen at all, was the Central Office of the Red Cross informed about it? What was the reaction of this? Is there any public reaction to the violation of the requirement of the Geneva Convention by the Russian Federation? Next question. Is it possible to arrange a meeting with the head of the Red Cross mission in the Russian Federation in order to find out the position of the Russian Federation and its policy regarding communication regarding prisoners? The coordination headquarters and families on an ongoing basis provide the Red Cross with information about the torture of Ukrainian prisoners of war. Have any measures been taken in this regard? Now there will be the last question, and then there will be comments, and we want to hear the answer to them. Why is the International Committee of the Red Cross silent about the non-admission of prisoners and their deliberate torture in Russia? Why not tell the world about it? If such a policy of silence brought results, it would be understandable. But 2.5 years have passed, and this silence has not yielded any, even minimal results. When will you finally publicly express at least deep concern about Russia's failure to fulfill its obligations under the Geneva Conventions? What is the meaning of such activities of the Red Cross? Does this not play along with the aggressor from Geneva functionaries of the Red Cross? Now I would like to hear, please, the answer to our questions.
Thank you very much for those questions, for those points, which I will address in a broader way. But before I enter into the substance matter of your grief, of your points, of your questions, I would also mention a couple of points as an introduction. Personally, I've been here now for 1.5 years in Ukraine. I've worked with my colleagues here, the Ukrainians. I've traveled to the east of the country and I've seen the horrors of war. Unfortunately, it's not the first time I'm in such a situation. I've been working for the International Committee of the Red Cross for the last 30 years, and I've seen many theaters of war, many theaters of destruction, many theaters of horror, many theaters of suffering, and something you are going through as well now as Ukrainian people, and especially you as families for people of defenders who are either killed, arrested, or are missing. One thing I can assure you, one thing I can promise you, your suffering, your grief, your agony is real. We understand you, we hear you, we see you every day when we work with you, when we interact with you, with my team here in Kiev, but in many communities across the countries in our daily work. And I can assure you, our hearts are bleeding, we hear you and we see you. And it's not only here in Ukraine that we are active and working every day, we also have a very dedicated team in the Russian Federation. We are the only international organization that is still present and able to work and do some work in the Russian Federation in supporting also people there affected by the war, and people also asking answers. Mothers are there as well, and we are trying our utmost to give you answers, to have access to this place of detention and do our job as it's laid out in the Geneva Convention. It is in human nature, and especially it's in our nature, when we have so much suffering, so much grief in front of us, we don't want to see what is beyond, what is beside us. We want to answer for our problem, for our issues, which I fully understand. But be aware that things are happening in a positive way. We have a system working where information is exchanged between prisons held in the Russian Federation. We have thousands of messages flowing from Russia to Ukraine and the other way around. Thousands of letters are being exchanged and help is being provided. This I must say, and this will never be enough for you, I understand this. You want your answer, you want knowledge about your loved ones, which I understand, but be mindful it is a bigger issue beyond your own individual case. Now let me start with the last point you made about speaking out, going public, being silent. Let me explain a couple of points along this line. Firstly, I would like to underline, we are not being silent. We are working a lot behind the scene. We are engaging with a lot of people, not only in Ukraine, but across the globe. We have dialogue with people with influence, with people who can make things happen. These are lengthy processes, they are slow processes, they are complicated processes, and results are not visible every day, but we are not voiceful the way today's world goes on social media, on newspapers, on TV channels. No, we're not doing that. Other people are doing that. We play a role others can't play, and we engage, we talk, we push for the issues, but in a way that is not in today's world seen obviously, but I'm sure you a lot is happening that you can't see behind the scenes. Believe me, there are days I would like to stand here on the wall and scream the injustice of this world, talk about the suffering of people, make my voice heard in public, in social media. You can believe me, I would like to do that many days, but I know what the consequence will be, because we have stakes on the other side. We want to work across the globe, not only in Ukraine, not only in Russia, but we work in many places that are difficult to access, where we have to be careful and we have to be mindful of what we say in public in order to maintain our work environment, maintain our relationship, and maintain our work that is going on every day. Okay.
Please answer one question. Are you allowed into the PO or not? This is a very important issue for us as families. Because in 2.5 years, we don't know where our relatives are. We have no information.
I understand your grievance, I understand your point, but let's have this dialogue the way we agreed to have a dialogue. Let's listen to one another and let me make my points.
We respect you. We have listened to you a very long time, but questions arise. My name is Vladimir Zolkin. My name is Vladimir Zolkin. I'm a journalist from Ukraine.
I'm gladly receiving my office to talk to the media, but not here in front of everybody.
No, it will be public, so that everyone can hear and understand it. It will be public for everyone to hear and understand.
But we have a dialogue with the families today and not with the media.
We ask a simple question. Are you allowed in Russia to join our prisoners of war or not? We want to hear yes or no.
Okay.
Give an answer.
We do work in the Russian Federation. I will not give you statistics. We are not here in a game of seeing who is doing how much. I just assure you, we have delegates, we have teams in the Russian Federation. They are working very hard. They have been visiting places of detentions. We are negotiating every day, and we do visit. But I will not now get into details how many, to what places. This is part of our approach. We keep that to ourselves. We will not start comparing who is better, who is worse in public. We do that, as I explained before, in our approach, our bilateral approach, and not debate this in public. On the last point, you have mentioned that
when were you in Mordovia? You hear the question. When were you in Mordovia? Please give an answer. When were you in Mordovia? Please give an answer.
The dialogue now open, or we start shouting at one another. You can choose.
We provide all information about Russian prisoners of war. Why did the other part not give us such information? Question. When were you in Mordovia? The woman asks questions. We have dead people in the colonies, and there are a lot of them. The first are the colonies in Mordovia and Vyazma. A lot of bodies have been returned since then. 162 bodies at the moment. What kind of work is being done by you for our relatives, so that turned bodies do not return to us?
So now very specific, and they are covered in my response before, that we have this very much as a priority on the Russian Federation. We have teams present, we are pushing very hard to have more access, to do more. We can do that every day. And we are part of an international construct, I must say that as well. We are part of the international community where each and every country of this world has signed the Geneva Convention, and we work under those principles that are agreed upon by the international community, of which Ukraine is fully part of it. I suggest now, if you want to bring up your specific points, you can come inside our office as families, as individuals, and my colleagues will take note of what you have to say, take up your cases, and we try the best to get into substance and answer to your grievances. Okay, I think we leave the public debate here now. I had to say what I could say. I hear you, and we continue now more with our teams here.
I'm not sure that you hear us. I'm not sure. I am not see it. In this moment, Russian military hit my sister. Translate.
They are torturing my sister at the moment. They kidnapped my sister. She is civilian. She is a civilian. They came home and took the mother of two. And they have been keeping her unknown where for 2 weeks. What can you tell me, and how can I help at this moment? My sister is being tortured. I do not sleep at night. At night I imagine what they are doing to her. Where can I find her? How can I get a mother of two back? They don't say anything. They say, wait. We have been waiting for 2 weeks. At the time when she is being killed there. Maybe she is no longer alive. I'm going crazy.
You do not understand us. If your son of that daughter will looks like this, killing people, then you will understand us.
Can I ask a specific question? The fact is that we have our own communication department service for mass media. We invite you. This question was officially asked by Ombudsman of Ukraine. There was no answer to him. The Ombudsman of Ukraine asked. Well, how do you want me to go talk to you not in public? Are you kidding me? Don't let him go. We came to here. We are here for a public conversation. And I have a public question. I have a public question. Where are you? Where are you? Shame, 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 shame. Publicly. Shame, 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 shame. We will not leave this place until you listen to us and Mr. Volodymyr, a Ukrainian journalist. We will not go to your office. We want to hear the answers. Do you understand why you were invited here? Yes? We fully allow. Translate, please. We fully allow journalists and the Red Cross to visit Russian prisoners of war in our prisons. If you are not allowed in any specific places, where is your public statement about it? An official public statement that you are not allowed. He doesn't hear. Where is the public statement from the Red Cross that you are not allowed in some colonies? Official public statement. We want to see it. When we turn to some international organizations...
Excuse me, you heard me. I'm not repeating my speech. You were here before, you heard me what I said.
If I go with cameras, with my operators, then we will talk. Because otherwise it doesn't make sense. I want to hear a journalist.
You're a journalist?
Yes.
So we have a media team here, right? Let's play according to the rules.
Let's get my camera. Yeah, with my operator, my microphone, okay?
Мікрофон, окей? Окей. Який тайм? Коли?
Shame, 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 shame. Here you just know what the situation is. People come up to me and speak a foreign language. I don't have to know it perfectly, right? There are Ukrainians here. Please translate for me what this girl is telling me. Why did you come here? Well, someone translated. Who is the translator? Translate. We have those who are responsible for this. Give me the microphone. He doesn't want to translate. I want everyone hear you, you know?
We had agreed this morning, sir.
Треба, щоб всі
Everyone needs to hear.
We had agreed this morning to meet the families, right? You came here. Fair. You're welcome. It's a free country. You can come here.
Yes, yes. Say, I want everyone to hear. Yes, I'm a journalist. When he agrees, then I will translate.
So you're a journalist, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. We have a media department. We are a professional organization. Right? We invite you to take a point. Tell us what you want. Ask your questions. Ask you open your camera, and we'll gladly answer you and engage with you as a journalist in a professional way. You're most welcome to do so. But not here in front of the families, where emotions run high, where everybody's excited. It's not the way we work with journalists.
So we can talk to representatives of the Red Cross right now, on record.
I'm so sorry. And you see, the war is lasting for 2.5 years, yes? And maybe it's high time to change some rules of International Committee of Red Cross. Because I know that your organization was founded as humanitarian organization, yes? And we see wars around the world. And maybe the aim of your organization is not now the same on humanitarian end, but something else, maybe to press the Russia. Because I know that you don't visit all the prisons. I know it. I have only one letter from my son, only 7 lines, and that's all. And maybe he is in Smolensk region, maybe. I don't know.
We need everyone to understand and hear your dialogue. Otherwise, it's a private conversation. I can translate for you. I need people to hear. Why can't we be invited to talk on a video? What is the problem? I mean, are you hiding something? You may not answer those questions. Good. There are general questions that you do not answer. What other family answers?
This is an event for families. Now you come here as a journalist and you hijack this event.
Why don't you answer the family's questions? Please translate. You were asked, why didn't you officially declare that you were not allowed to visit the prisoners? Let's them answer the family's questions individually, but they don't give us that. Look, I will write a question and talk to him separately. Today he communicates with you. He said he would only talk to you. Okay, you can talk. I will write a separate request so as not to disturb you. You do not disturb us, Mr. Volodymyr. We want you to be with us. Take my operators, they can go with you, because the representative of the Red Cross does not answer specific questions. He said that he will communicate with families personally. I told him that there is one question from everyone. Representatives of the families, take your cameras and go ask questions. We want you to be with us. Everything is normal. I will communicate separately later. It's just that we're stuck in this place. Do you understand? They say that I'm a journalist. You should go away. They communicate only with families. Good. But you represent us. No, he said that they agreed to communicate with families. Good. As a journalist, you express your requests. So we are all like one family. Speak here. So we are family. Red Cross, explain to us, the families, when you submit a record to the Russian Federation to visit the colony and this request is refused, what do you do next? This is the first question. The second question, what does your regulatory body do in this situation?
Okay. Now, these questions come back in a similar way every time what we are doing. I said that generically, and if the Sir journalist would listen as well, he would have his answers as well. He could put on his channel. I cannot get into the details the way we work on the Russian Federation. I can just assure you that we keep on trying. And honestly, I try to explain things the way we try our best. And I do not understand why you blame us. I understand your grief, but I do not understand why you put all the blame on us, whilst we try very hard to give you answers, while we work a lot on that. Again, I accept criticism, I accept pressure, I accept that you want answers. This is fair, and you're welcome to do so. And you can come and talk to my team, but we also need to establish some rules and limits, because we do a lot of work. We give answers to many families, unfortunately not yours. But maybe tomorrow you will have an answer, maybe tomorrow something comes through. I cannot promise you, I can just promise that we do our best.
You see, you keep saying that you cannot visit the colonies with your prisoners of war. You always say that it's classified. We need specifics. Why can't you get there? What do you do when you're not allowed into colony in the Russian Federation? And we also want to see a request for all colonies in which our prisoners of war are kept.
Okay, I think those questions now, they come around in the same circles, and my answer will be always the same. Yeah? We keep on trying. We have inroads, we do things, and we keep on trying. We don't take no for a no, and we cannot throw everything overboard and say, what next? And that's our commitment. That's what we fight for, and we fight for you on your behalf to get more answers. If we pull back and say, that's it, what will be after? What should we do after? Okay, I think we will stop here with the open dialogue. I can just reassure you, we will keep on trying, we keep our best, and that's all I can tell you for now. We will not give up, we will talk to you, we will listen to you, and we do our utmost. Unfortunately, there are no miracles, there are no solutions out there that just will make things happen. It's a war, it's horror you live through, it's agony, and we are trying to alleviate at least a little bit. But nobody can ever give you all the answers. Nobody can ever bring you back what you lost. Nobody can alleviate the pain you're feeling in your hearts. This is not going to happen. But at least we can try. At least we can do certain things that help some of you, not all. And we will keep on trying. And I invite you to talk to my team and bring up your individual cases.
If you had answered all the questions that I had prepared, and I had been preparing for the meeting for several weeks, writing all this so that you could give me answers. Do you know what I'm most sorry about? That my family member died, was blown to pieces, and in 7 months, the Red Cross has not even called me once. Not even a single time. I fought for my child for 2.5 years. And when you say that you sympathize with us, that you are working, I don't believe you. You do not sympathize with us. Your relatives are not there. If your loved one were there, you would tear up half the world. And you could get to the colony where our children are being tortured. Our children. Do we understand? At the same time, I received a call from the mother of one of the fighters. After 2.5 years of captivity, the FSB came to the colony and tore her son's ass apart. It was a young man, born in 1996. They killed him after 2.5 years. And when she calls you to the hotline, she is rudely answered. She is not listening to or heard. How can we live with this if even you don't want to help us? Today, the day of commemoration of the dead and the missing. This is my personal pain. This is my problem. And you have not helped me once. Yes, the families would come in and talk to you differently as we wanted, but you didn't answer the questions. If you would specifically answer at least one question, I would have no questions left. People would thank you and speak with you. And now you're just hiding from us. Why are you hiding from us? Answer one more question about medical commissions. What kind of work did you do for medical commissions? Why do the Russian prisoners in our country receive all the help from you? And ours receive nothing from them. They receive only beatings and torture. What is being done on your side about the mixed medical commissions? I don't know if everyone understands what a mixed medical commission is. This is a structure that should work in the interests of those who are injured and sick. It, like us, should work based on the principle of humanity. It should look at who is fighting for life the most, who is in dangerous condition, and who deserves priority attention in terms of medical care. And such structures should ideally be created on the both sides. And this is what we stand for both in Ukraine and in Russia. We want such commissions to be created so that they work. When it will be created? When? They have already worked for the benefit of the wounded and sick who are supported by countries. And this is the obligation of countries to create such commissions. Bring back the Marines! Bring back the Marines! Our relatives are being tortured and you are silent. Our relatives are being tortured and tortured bodies are being returned. What did you do to prevent this from happening? Bring back our loved ones alive while there is still time. While they last. Tortured souls died in captivity while you are silent. We want to leave this slogan to you. You are silent for us, for their families. We want you to finally speak. They talk to us about our relatives, and they help them. I thank you for coming today. Thank you for everything we heard from you today. And I want to emphasize once again that we are not silent. We continue to do everything in our power. Thank you. Change the laws of the International Red Cross. Change it. Times have changed a long time ago, but the laws and rules have remained the same. Give them all these boys girls. Here are the names of the dead for 2.5 years. We know from the released boys that there is information about them. However, the Red Cross does not confirm that they are in captivity. I want you to use this list to find people for their relatives and confirm that they have been in captivity for 2.5 years. This is my appeal to you. Please, find these guys, so that every mother learns about her child. The whole world should know about the human rights violation in Russia. In our opinion, the International Committee of the Red Cross exists to publicly and documentary record human rights violations. Because if they don't do it, maybe the world community doesn't know about it. This infuriates us.
Our position is that the world has to know about these violations. And the Red Cross, from our point of view, is there to let the world know of what is happening.
I want to give you some friendly advice.
I want to give you a friendly advice.
If you don't start listening to the people who are here right now,
If you will not listen to those people around you,
unless you change your policy,
if you will not change your policy,
the consequences can be unpredictable.
the consequences could be unforeseen.
We totally understand you as well.
If I have questions, I will make a list of them and make an appointment. Then we will talk separately. But I describe the situation as succinctly as possible. Listen.
It's our event. I don't like you come and hijack this.
Okay. This is not a place for public speaking. You'll still be able to hear me just fine. The fact is that people come to ask different questions, of which I signed out two main odds. The first question, what is the status of our prisoners of war who were convicted in Russia? Do they have the status of convicts or prisoners? Yes, in Russia they all are considered convicts, but at the same time they have the status of prisoners of war. There is no reason to think that such people will not be taken from captivity. Those who have already been convicted, that's what I'm talking about. If you communicate more with each other, there would be more information, in my opinion. Because 3 people approached me, and also I'm not an official representative, I have such information, and I believe that there will be no harm if I report it. Next, regarding the Red Cross. Thank you, by the way, for giving me your microphone for 2 minutes, otherwise I would have swallowed it. Let's be objective. Let's try to be objective. Raise your hand those who have been held by the Red Cross. Raise your hand those who were not held by the Red Cross. I try to be objective. Really, is there at least one person here who was held by the international committees of the Red Cross? There is none. No. I had a personal conversation with a representative of the Red Cross in which I once again asked the question. I say to her, you do not give an answer to one simple question. Are you allowed in the colony or not? If you are not allowed to see the prisoners, why don't you provide the entire community with a formal, official report about this? She says, we act incognito. We would write such public reports if we thought it would make sense. I express my opinion, but I think that many people will support it. There is basically no work for them. Here we all here and now do not see any effect from their work. And if secrecy does nothing, then we would like to have a report from them for the world community that Russia does not allow them. This will be another confirmation that Russia is a criminal state, and then this will allow us to analyze some of the individual cases, because at this point in time they have a massive position. They are simply allowed somewhere, but not somewhere. This is the first time he said that they are allowed somewhere, but not somewhere. To this day, this is the first statement I have heard that they are still being allowed to go somewhere. But where exactly? Where are these people they helped? I want to see them. I cannot separate some of our prisoners from others. Whether it's Marines or other people who need to be brought back from captivity. I think that if 10 times more people had gathered here, I don't think that somebody would say the Red Cross had helped them in any way. Perhaps some of you know, I called for such an action once. This video is still on my channel. I sent this video to all relatives of prisoners of war who contact me. I have said that I do not have some information, but I do what I can do publicly. And I called for such an action for a reason. Maybe one of you understood today why I did it. Because when we gather on the Maidan, it's good. It is morally good. This is a mention of your relatives and loved ones. That's good. But here I should work from a practical point of view. I can see how they have started to act now. They began to invite individual people. They invited me to a private conversation. And when I talked with them, I told them to start acting, because their inaction could lead to unforeseen consequences. Seeing your emotions, I understand that it can be so. Therefore, once again, I give them friendly advice: start working. For these actions to have a practical impact, Practical results. No just general statements, but practical content. If any of you have any other question that I can somehow answer, please feel free to ask me the question that concerns you. My husband has been missing for 2 years. The Mariupol Regional Prosecutor's Office is looking for... One name is right in here and another here. It is malpractice. Their prosecutor's office. This is our. Yes, this is our technical error. This is not technical error, this is human life. Yes, I understand. They will still be looking for your husband. They won't be. Here the date of birth is confused. Do you contact the communication headquarters? I did. And what did they tell you? Wait. They tell everyone everywhere to wait. Look, here in my place should be their representatives and representatives of other Ukrainian services. I do it on my own initiative. I repeat once more, what I can do in public, I do. I am doing what I can. 28 months have passed. I understand. I understand. I am trying to urge them to take practical action that will bring your loved ones back home. The fact that you are here now is, in my opinion, the first step toward these people starting to understand something. Because I spoke with their representatives today, and after this conversation, I got the impression that they really think that nothing terrible is happening. They really think they are doing their best. They don't do their best. Today they listened to you and heard us, and I think that maybe they will start doing something, because if nothing happens... You understand what else there is? I will say this for representatives of the Red Cross. We will publish this video, you will listen. When you go to our camps to visit Russian prisoners of war, pat their heads, that's literally how it is. When you gather doctors' conceals from Kiev and take them to Lviv because some prisoners say he had a stomach ache, but they didn't give him a pill, and I know about such cases. By this you are creating such condition for Russian prisoners under which they do not want to return home. They are better here than at home. They are better off here than in Russia. They have more freedom of speech here. They have better food here. They have better conditions here after all. Further, what happens next? Russia knows this information. Russia knows this information. And when they torture our people, they know that nothing will happen to their people here. The question is, who creates such conditions for them? Why can't you torture Russian prisoners? Because representatives of the Red Cross will come and immediately write about it everywhere. Hear me! Immediately the whole world community will know that we touched a Russian prisoner of war, and our people all killed there, and they don't write about it publicly, and I ask them to start writing. Start calling the whole world community on this issue, because their secrecy has not yet yielded any results. I have been watching this for 2.5 years. The hearts of our prisoners simply cannot stand it physically. Yes, and accordingly, due to such excellent conditions, the Russians invited an exchange for the first time. For the first time in the entire war, the Russians asked for an exchange. Why? Because they were ordinary soldiers. That's all. Otherwise, they don't ask for an exchange, they don't need an exchange. They know that the Red Cross is pampering them here. Let's not let the Red Cross go to the prisoners. We have gathered here to make them understand something, so that they stop living in some other dimension, so they stop living in illusions, in some virtual space, so that they could come back to us here on Earth. Because I see that they drive around these camps, smiling, renting hotels, they are doing well. They do not understand what they are doing. These prisoners should be exchanged for the 30th X Brigade. That is why we are here today, and I hope that if nothing changes, we will not be here for the last time. And I hope that next time there will be twice or 3 times as many people who will join in. Yes, he does not understand. They don't understand. They don't understand. That's why she needs to say it. That's why we're here. About a year and a half ago, I said not to go to Maidan, but to go here. This is an organization that deals with this. This is an organization that positions itself as a humanitarian organization that should get to our prisoners of war and help them. But they don't. You're right. Thank you. Glory to Ukraine. Glory to the heroes.